Alright. Well, I finally got it. I wasn't playing the game when this ship first came out, and when I started playing again a couple years ago, I was very upset that I had missed this as free. However, a couple months ago in June of 2026, these went on sale for 80% off, and so I was like, you know what? I think it's time. So I went ahead and got this ship. This is the Star Jelly. So very cool. This ship is actually from the first episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Encounter at Farpoint. These are the Farpoint aliens. Farpoint jellyfish. Very cool patterning on here. The ship is absolutely massive, which is awesome. Apparently, in the show, I think they said it had 10 times the mass of the Enterprise D, which is already a gigantic ship. So, very, very cool. And I'm very happy to be trying it out. So, let's fly around real quick just so we can take a look at the kind of that trail on there is really cool looking. There, of course, being such a massive ship, it is very slow. Very, very slow. And because it's perfectly round, the only reason you even know which way it's going is because it's got that little trail under there, which they did a very good job on. That looks really cool. Very cool. I'm also noticing something new. I'm using the Tribble server to test these ships, and I'm noticing that there's something new up here. This must be something they're either trying or working with. It looks like it's some sort of like a compass of some kind. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, let's get into it. This is the Cnidarian Defender, or Cnidarian Defender. I've heard people say it without the C. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. I would say it has something to do with being a cylinder. Anyway, this is the Space Jelly. Okay, so the ship came with all Polaron weapons, and then a couple of like torpedo launchers. So I went ahead and put all the Polaron weapons that I have on here, starting, of course, with the most versatile Polaron weapons, which is the morphogenic set right here. I got the morphogenic Polaron energy torpedo. I've got the morphogenic omnidirectional weapon. This one's pretty cool. It actually uses basically anything that enhances weapon attacks. So if I have fire at will, it'll do a beam fire at will, or if I do cannon scatter volley, it'll do that as a cannon. So it's pretty cool. Those came from the there's a mission rewards on the episode Home, I think, from the Gamma Quadrant missions. So that's that. Then I've got the Advanced Piezo Polaron Beam Array from the Lucari Restoration Initiative Reputation. I've got the Advanced Tholaron Infused Polaron Beam Array from the Delta Quadrant, the Delta Alliance Reputation System. I've got the Dominion Polaron Beam Array, which is from a kind of like half discontinued mission. I think it's called Boldly They Rode. It's really cool. A really cool, unique Star Trek Online story. I really wish that they would rework it into the main story. They got a couple elements of it, but they really need to rework it. But anyway, this is a nice Polaron beam. We already talked about that one. Then I've got a phased Polaron beam. And then I have another piezo Polaron beam. And then I have the chronometric Polaron beam array, which is also a mission reward. I can't remember exactly what mission that's from. I think it's somewhere in the Delta Quadrant, or it might be during the time temporal Cold War mission thingy. For shields, warp, and deflector, I have the stuff from the Discovery Legends Reputation. For my impulse drive, I've got the prevailing innervated impulse engines. These work really well. They allow me to overcharge my engines when activating firing modes, which allows flight turn speed and flight turn rate, which is definitely something that this ship needs. For my engineering, I have 5 isomagnetic plasma distribution manifolds, which increase weapon power and max weapon power. A couple of them are weapon power ones, which don't really do any good. They just increase weapon power. And then a couple of them are res. And I think I might have just 2 res. I had a turn one on there, but I'm not using it right now. Okay, then I have the Dragon's Blood Flame Reactor, which is from another one of the ships that I just unlocked. I can't remember. Hyperion is, I think, what that's called. I'll do another video on that soon. So I've got that console on there. Then, of course, I have the console that came with this. This is the Cnidarian Defense console. It turns the ship into the Star Jelly form, which does electrical damage towards the enemies and helps allies. Then I figured, because it's like defensive, we'll get defensive stuff. I've got the Crystal Prism Universal console. This creates linked crystals that protect... What do they do? They deal psionic damage to the enemy. And then here I've got the reflective crystalline shielding. This is a passive console, and every once in a while it'll shoot. If your ship is getting attacked, it'll shoot back at the enemy ship. So those are like automatic. Then of course I have the morphogenic matrix controller, which does a 3-piece bonus for the morphogenic set here. Increases the recharge time on all of the different types of fire at will, beam overload, scatter volley, rapid fire, torpedo spread, all the good stuff that's connected to this set, which is really cool. 15% recharge is fantastic. And then you get extra buffs depending on which one you use. So that'll be cool. Okay, and then I've got the Fakiri Torment Engine, which increases non-hazard damage, including fire, radiation, plasma, and physical. It doesn't say specifically that it does electrical damage. At least I'm not seeing if it does. But I figured it might. So maybe it'll affect the electricity damage that this ship does. So that'll be fun. One of the other things is that it turns off all your weapons and it makes it really slow when you turn on this space jetty form. Okay, so that's it for the description. Let's go ahead and take a look at some enemies. We'll do board like we usually do. See, I didn't even know which direction I was facing. You know what? I'm going to change one of these real quick. I'm going to change the Dragon's Blood to... darn, I'm not seeing it. Oh, rats. I'm not seeing it. There it is. There we go. Alright, now I can transport to the enemy and just get to work here. So right away I'm noticing that this ship is a tank. It is having no problem shrugging off all of this damage. Just temporary hit points, just sitting there. I'm not even using any of my consoles except for that one that transported me over here. There we go. Now we're getting actual damage. The shields are down. It's still barely damaging it. Well, let's try some of these. There. There's that speed boost I was talking about. Very nice. This ship is an absolute tank. Almost invincible. I mean, I didn't do any shield heals. I didn't do any hull heals. I did nothing. Alright, let's try that star jelly for him now. I'll go ahead and park this bad boy. And we'll turn it into a star jelly. Yep. And there it is. Let's try it again. Wow. This is the ultimate just chill ship. Let's see how slow it really goes. It doesn't seem like it's moving at all. So let's move it over there. There we go. That's just nuts. I'm literally doing nothing. I almost think that might be too easy with this thing running. Oh, the defense thing turned off when there's no enemies. That's interesting. There we go. Looks like it turns on every once in a while. This is very cool. I think it's so cool that they were able to get this ship in the game. I mean, that was one of the coolest scenes in Star Trek Next Generation when they showed up. And the fact that they've got this here is just so cool. I'm glad I bought this. Definitely worth it. I know I should have bought... I definitely don't buy it with the previous sales. But 80% off, I mean, you got to do it. So, anyway. This ship is fantastic. I'm very glad that I got it. But that's all for this one. We'll see you on the next one. Enjoy.